So the day before my scheduled C-section, I went ahead and made sure that I had washed my hair. If you look here, my hair is very, very long. Unbraided, it is to my butt. And so it takes a long time to dry. It's a whole process. And honestly, we were just trying to pass the time. So that's why we're here playing around and giggling. Because scheduled C-sections are a total mind shift. Good morning. We're headed out at 3:30 our time in Montana, and we got to the hospital at 5-ish because I needed to be there at 5 o'clock. My husband has a registered service dog. His name is Mr. Nate, and my husband does not drive due to narcolepsy, so he was preparing to spend the entire time with us in the hospital from the surgery to being discharged. Here's me getting ready and hooked up and saying goodbye to the bump. Hello, baby girl. She was exactly 37 weeks at the time that my C-section happened on this day. Mr. Nate is a total trooper, and he knows exactly where he needs to be in the corner here. My husband was starting to try and get his scrubs on for the surgery, and take 2, it worked. The first one was defective somehow, but these things are essentially paper. And my last baby in 2020, we had to have nose things happen. Hallelujah. We did not have to have that today. My dad drove us, so he's actually going to be watching the dog during the surgery. And here we are out of recovery. Baby girl came perfectly, 8 pounds, 1 ounce, and 20.25 inches long. She is my 5th cesarean, so this was not something that I hadn't experienced before. And she literally nursed for pretty much the entire first day. Hello, Grandpa. He got to hold the baby first, which never ever happens because usually my mom does. But when you drive people, you get firsts, right? So he was here before he headed out because, again, we were up at 3:30. She and I dozed and ate. She ate, I dozed, and then she dozed most of the day. While I did have a spinal, so I couldn't get out of bed. My husband has narcolepsy. I did mention that. So he and Mr. Nate had nap time off and on throughout the day. And this was our entire first day. So this is me after my blood pressure went up. I ended up with postpartum hypertension, which this is the second time I've had that. So it was a long night, and it's getting out of here day. Yay. Yes, I am pumping for this little girl because she was having a hard time transferring all the milk, but she definitely needed it. There she is having a nap while Dad and I, he's still sleeping, we're getting stuff ready to go. That's how Mr. Nate sleeps with my husband in the hospital. Welcome to service dog life. But it helps them both, so it's okay. And I got my hair finally in a bun, not in a braid. That was a trial, again, long hair. But we're getting out of here, so I had to do something with my hair. And here we are waiting to be discharged. She is in an outfit that her great auntie bought her, which is super duper cute. And she's one of our only babies who was newborn size. Here we are fit in the car seat. Usually we buy convertible car seats, but this one is one of those, cradle car seats. And we were just making sure it fit her because we have to double check all those things. Mr. Nate's just chilling while we're getting ready to go. Funny dog. There's my husband. We did 5 days in the hospital this time. We had planned on 3, and here we are. My dad picked us up in our big white van and brought us home. We did not tell most of our kids. Only our 2 oldest, who are 13 and 12, knew that we were coming home that day. Yes, pump parts in the front of the car because pumping. But they knew that we were coming home this day, but our littlest kids did not. If you missed it, we are now a family of 10. So we had 7 other kids at home, and my mom and my twin sister were helping us out while we were in the hospital for 5 days. And here come the kidlets out the door and to the car. They were so excited to meet her. That's our oldest. And he loves babies, absolutely loves them. And they made us a sign. It says, "Welcome home, Mommy," and Zara, that's our daughter's name, and Daddy and Mr. Nate. There's all of our people. And my mom's holding the baby finally, and our first full night under the same roof as a family of 10. That is, she did not sleep like that, I promise. She's just laying there with me while I'm waiting for the big kids to wake up. And she did sleep in her own space, but here we are. So last night was our first night at home after we came home from the hospital. We had a medicine snafu for me for my postpartum hypertension, but we are getting that remedied and everything's okay. So we are officially, all 10 of us, under the same roof. This was our first morning home, and our kids are each, our 5 oldest, take care of a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner throughout the week. So my husband had already started our food, and our big kids were getting breakfast on the table. This has by far been literally the best thing we have done this year. If you have not started teaching your kids how to cook, do it. It's going to be slow. It's going to be a mess, but do it, because times like this where my postpartum menu plan literally went up in smoke, we were able to put food on the table for everybody, for our food boundary family, and it's not one person's task, it's every person's task. Sorry, that was a Mandarin that he had claimed. So here we are, breakfast on our first official day all together after I had our daughter. She's our 8th child, and she was so anticipated because she came after a loss. The way that I get into the car after I have a C-section is I actually use a step stool. This was by far the best thing that I've done for postpartum C-section healing, is to just keep a step stool in the car. Yes, I'm the only driver in our family, and so I do have to take it easy for a couple weeks. But here she is. Zara Promise is here, and we so look forward to her being a part of our family forever.